Welcome back to another episode of Mystery Tales from the Heart of India. Picture this: a moonless night at the edge of Rajasthan's Scariest Tiger Reserve, where Aravali hills pierce the horizon, and a cold wind whispers between ancient stones. You stand at the foot of Bhangarh Fort. India's most notorious haunted place sits crumbling ramparts bathed in silver moonlight. Locals warn, enter this place only in daylight, for after sunset, ghostly lights dance among the ruins, and those who stay may never return. Tonight, we journey into the legend and lore of the ghost lights of Bhangarh Fort, where curses, black magic, restless spirits, and inexplicable phenomena have woven a tale that chills even the most skeptical heart. The fort itself dates to 1573, commissioned by Raja Madho Singh of Amber under Emperor Akbar's patronage. 5 gates, soaring walls, and ornate temples once enclosed a thriving town. Within its ramparts lay palaces, havelis, bustling bazaars, and water tanks home to thousands whose lives flourished here. Merchants from Persia, Arabia, and beyond traded in silks, spices, horses, and precious jewels. Scholars debated philosophy in its courtyards. Pilgrims sought blessings in temples, and royal celebrations lit its streets with music and color. Bhangarh appeared blessed by fortune. Yet 2 local legends claimed this very greatness sowed the seeds of its doom. The first tale invokes Guru Balunath, an ascetic who meditated in a cave on the hill long before construction began. When Raja Madho sought the hermit's blessing, Balunath agreed only if the fort's shadow never fell upon his abode. The oath was broken when the ramparts rose too high, casting darkness across the cave. Enraged, the hermit cursed the site. All who reside here shall perish, and the night shall swallow this place. Within a generation, Bhangarh's fortunes began to fade. A second legend centers on Princess Ratnavati, famed for her unmatched beauty and grace. A sorcerer named Singh fell hopelessly in love and brewed a love potion disguised as precious perfume. Morning denied the princess's consent. He intended to sprinkle it on her, sorry to compel her devotion. Ratnavati, wise to his scheme, discovered the bottle during a festival and smashed it against a boulder, which rolled down and crushed Singh. As his life ebbed, he uttered a curse. Your bloodline will vanish, and your stones shall cry tears of fire. Soon after, tragedy befell the princess, and Bhangarh's corridors echoed with the beginning of its undoing. These vivid curses took on new power when centuries later, the Archaeological Survey of India prohibited entry to the fort after sunset. While officially cited reasons include dangerous terrain, venomous wildlife, and lack of mobile signal, the ban only reinforced the fort's haunted reputation. Yet every evening, unseen witnesses recount pale orbs drifting above collapsed walls, flitting through broken doorways, and hovering near temple plinths. Those brave or foolish enough to defy the ban speak of ghostly lights that defy explanation. These apparitions appear as translucent globes of flickering white or amber, moving in deliberate patterns, circling temple columns, ascending stairways to nowhere, and vanishing at will. Several accounts have emerged. Backpackers on a midnight trek reported dozens of lights forming a ring in the central courtyard, rotating slowly before dancing into the temple ruins. A photographer using long exposure shots captured orbs hovering above the palace steps, though to the naked eye he saw only empty darkness. Paranormal investigators recorded EMF spikes and infrared anomalies, synchronized with sightings, yet cameras revealed no heat signatures or physical source. Skeptics propose natural explanations: insects reflecting torchlight, distant villagers, lanterns, or optical illusions in low light. However, the persistence and consistency of reports from colonial-era British officers to modern YouTubers suggest genuine mysteries persist. Local villagers claim the lights respond to prayer, recitations of the Guru Granth Sahib, or verses from the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes still their movement, as if appeasing unseen guardians. In 1937, British surveyor Captain Edward Steele led the first formal expedition after dusk. He reported his team saw tiny flickers like distant lanterns drifting from wall to wall, and that his own compass needle swung wildly for several minutes. His official report found decades later in the India Office archives. Notes: we withdrew at first light, unnerved by the inexplicable. Today, paranormal teams armed with EMF detectors, infrared thermometers, and digital audio recorders report electromagnetic surges near the ruined bazaar at dusk. Sudden temperature drops to near freezing in the main courtyard on hot nights. EVP recordings where questions like who guards these stones elicit hushed replies such as Ratnavati, Balunath, or unintelligible whispers. Dr. Kavada Tripathi, geochemist from the University of Jaipur, examined Bhangarh's rock strata. She found natural fissures that can produce piezoelectric effects under tectonic stress potential sources of electrical discharges that could explain orbs, yet she concedes these phenomena are inconsistent. The orbs appear regardless of seismic activity or humidity changes. Bhangarh's haunted reputation has shaped modern culture. Bollywood films like Bhangarh, A Paranormal Experience 2016 dramatize its curses. Travel channels and podcasts feature first-person terror stories here. Local tour operators offer haunted heritage walks by day and clandestine moonlit terror treks after dusk. Villagers in nearby Someshwar and Golaki Dani share accounts that deepen the fort's mystique. They describe gunshots heard at midnight in the lower chambers, believed to be echoes of the final siege. Livestock refuses to graze near collapsed walls, pacing nervously and braying at unseen presences. Travelers recall compasses spinning wildly at the third gate, disoriented by unseen forces. To ward off the unseen, locals adopt protective rituals, carrying iron keys or farming tools reputed to repel spirits. Hanging neem branches, marigold garlands, and chilly strings over doorways. Reciting passages from the Bhagavad Gita or verses of the Guru Granth Sahib at haunted spots. Traveling in groups and leaving offerings of incense and sweets at temple altars at dusk. These practices echo broader South Asian traditions where iron, fire, and holy verses serve as barriers between the living and the dead. Bhangarh's nightly displays thus reinforce cultural values surrounding purity, protection, and respect for restless ancestors. Geologically, Bhangarh sits on pink sandstone outcrops prone to fracturing under thermal stress. Temperature shifts produce drafts through fissures, swirling sand that resembles moving lights. Wind whistling through colonnades generates hollow echoes, mistaken for whispers. Yet the fort's eerie ambience amplified by centuries of myth transforms natural phenomena into supernatural spectacle. The fort's nearby water tanks, like the Ansu Kondaran, their name because local legend says they hold the tears of the princess. Some night visitors report reflections of orbs dancing on the water's surface, then disappearing when observers approach. The well's stone steps remain slick underfoot, as though perpetually damp, adding to an air of otherworldliness. Bhangarh's ghost lights parallel legends worldwide: England's Willow, the Wisp, Peru's St. Elmo's Fire, and the Marfa Lights of Texas. Anthropologists argue such phenomena reflect universal fears of the unknown, broken oaths, and of the boundary between life and death. In Bhangarh, these anxieties coalesce where history, tragedy, and legend converge. As modernization encroaches, Bhangarh remains a time capsule of Mughal-era heritage and ancestral belief. Restoration efforts by the Archaeological Survey of India stabilize walls and map foundations activities confined to daylight, leaving dusk and dawn to those seeking ghostly encounters. Season brings new visions. Monsoon floods form temporary lakes in the courtyard, prompting tales of drowned merchants. Winter's chill intensifies sightings, as if the fort itself mourns its lost splendor. Beyond its haunted reputation, Bhangarh Fort offers profound lessons. It reminds us how broken promises and moral failings Rajas, oath broken under Balunath's cave, Singhia's vengeful Kursiko across centuries. It shows how unchecked ambition and obsession can spawn stories that outlast stone and mortar. And it demonstrates how communities forge rituals to confront inexplicable fears. Today, as you stand beneath the third gate where Princess Ratnavati's lament is said to linger, consider this. Do those ghostly lights reflect spirits trapped by ancestral wrongs, or do they mirror our need to find meaning in darkness? Are the apparitions warnings from Balunath's restless soul, or manifestations of our collective imagination, illuminated by moonlight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this descent into Bhangarh's haunted depths set your pulse racing, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because next time we'll explore another hidden corner of India where history, and mystery entwine, where the veil between worlds grows thin. Until then, stay vigilant, stay curious, and remember, the truest mysteries often flicker just beyond the edge of our understanding, like ghost lights dancing in the night.